Hi there, I'm Ray Flowers of fantasyguru.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and here on YouTube at The Ray Flowers. And if you haven't picked up our fantasy football product for 2023 at fantasyguru.com, stay tuned to the end of this video. Above my shoulder, you'll find a link to how to do that. It's a tremendous product. Rankings out the wazoo, dynasty, keeper, PPR, non-PPR, rookie, best ball. We've got it all in the draft guide at fantasyguru.com. Let's talk a little bit of baseball. Before we get to that, the actual news that I want to discuss, next week on the 1st of August, the MLB trade deadline, I'll be sitting there at fantasyguru.com all day long. I wake up early in the morning, get my food, get my drinks, put everything on the desk, turn the computer on, turn the TV on, got the radio going. I'm listening to all the trade deadline information at fantasyguru.com, live writing about the entire day. The rumors, you'll hear about them right away. The trades, my instant analysis from the fantasy perspective, all of that on the actual trade deadline next week. Now, before the trade deadline, we've had some moves, and the bigger move in the last couple of days here is the Angels acquiring, Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez from the White Sox for Edgar Quero and Kai Busch. Now, this is a long-term move for the White Sox. They're getting two of the top three prospects with the Angels. We're not going to discuss them here because they're long-term. They're not going to make an impact this year. Lopez is added to an Angels bullpen that needs some help, and he's pitched pretty well at times. There's been some struggles as well, but he's a nice power arm and gives the Angels another option in the bullpen. That's a nice addition for the soon-to-be free agent. Another player that will soon to be a free agent is Lucas Giolito, who's the big prize here. The Angels, who have also, according to Tom Verducci, taken Shohei Ohtani off the trade market, and you can't imagine they would have made this move if that wasn't the case. Ohtani's going to play out this season as an Angel, and they'll take their chances in the offseason at re-signing him. The addition of Giolito is big. They're hoping, obviously, to get Mike Trout back from an injury here, hoping to get Anthony Rendon at some point. But the addition of Lucas Giolito gives them another top-of-the-rotation arm. Giolito's not an ace, but he's a stable innings eater. He gives you quality start options pretty much every time he takes the hill. It's a nice addition for the Angels. A little bit better of environment for Giolito. Maybe he gets a little juice from the trade. Out here in California, he's from California. Maybe that helps a little bit as well. A ballpark, similar. Maybe he takes a slight hit moving to Anaheim, but it's all very similar. Same division, gets to face the A's, gets to face the Rangers. Overall, pretty much the same outlook, I think, for Giolito. We'll see if his win total can go up with the hope of the Angels that they added a star here at the trade deadline. Again, I think his value in the fantasy game is very similar. The Dodgers acquired Amed Rosario from the Guardians for Noah Syndergaard. Now, Syndergaard wasn't going to have a place in the rotation for the Dodgers. They didn't really know what to do. They send him to Cleveland. Cleveland needs help pitching. All their youngsters are seemingly dealing with injuries on the hill. Gavin Williams is struggling, not quite living up to expectations. I needed 87 pitches to get through 4 innings the other day. So Syndergaard will be there kind of as a support piece. AL only option. He's not someone in a mixed league. I'm not even sure he'll start games other than sporadically. So don't get too excited about him. The Rosario addition has got a twofold impact. One, Miguel Rojas is going to lose playing time. Obviously, Rosario is going to play the majority of the time at the shortstop position. I don't think Rosario's outlook changes appreciably. It's a better lineup with the Dodgers. At the same time, it's a new environment for him. He's probably going to hit down at the bottom of the order still. There could be some times where he's out of the lineup. Maybe he doesn't play as much. With the Guardians, he was basically every day in the lineup. Might see a little bit curtailing of that. I think it's, again, like with the Giolito move, roughly even for him, maybe a slight uptick. If he catches fire there could be something with Rosario, a guy who I've liked for a long time. Solid bat, can steal a base. Let's say it's a plus for him, but it's pretty much the same. The second point here is that Mookie Betts has played 16 games at shortstop. So if you have qualifications, next year of 15 games played, he already qualifies at shortstop. If it's 20, like a lot of old school leagues still are, I don't know. Does he get 4 more starts at shortstop? We still got a lot of ways to go, but that's probably the most interesting thing from a fantasy perspective here. Will Betts get 4 more games at shortstop the rest of the way to add that to his second base and outfield eligibility that he already possesses? The Twins acquired Dylan Floro from the Marlins for Jorge Lopez. I was wrong about how the Twins were going to play the bullpen. I think Lopez made my decision to say, hey, there'd be a split scenario. We're going to see Duran be the lead guy, but Lopez is going to get in there. I thought we'd see a scenario where, it's 20 to 25 saves for Duran, 15-ish for Lopez, 12 to 15, something like that. Didn't play out. Lopez struggled a little bit, actually struggled a lot based upon expectations, fallen into a complete middle reliever role. That doesn't change with his move here to the Marlins, though AJ Puck has struggled. And, especially of late here. And Tanner Scott's the guy that we're kind of looking at to take over in the 9th inning. Maybe Lopez does pick up some save opportunities down the stretch with the Marlins. a good addition. I think he's controlled for a year more than Dylan Floro. Not a big fantasy play because, again, I don't think either Floro or Lopez is likely to fall into saves. They'll have to earn their way there, especially in the case of Floro, who doesn't have much of a chance unless Duran gets hurt. Bob Nightingale of the USA Today says that teams are saying that the Padres are considering selling. Padres woefully short of expectations. You've got the Diamondbacks playing well. You've got the Giants playing, well, not of late, but overall playing well. You've got, of course, the Dodgers, and then the Padres missing expectations. So Nightingale's reporting that teams are saying the Padres might trade Blake Snell, who you can argue is the best pitcher in baseball right now. I know. He's got a chance to be the first pitcher ever to lead the league in ERA and walks. I know. And it's Blake Snell, but he's pitching tremendously well. Just his run prevention, his ERA is under 1 over the last 2.5 months. Excuse me, he's been great. Also, Josh Hader. Sorry if you noticed that I've been sick, which is why you haven't seen me for a while. So sorry that I almost lost my breath there. Blake Snell and Josh Hader both could be traded. 2 huge names, 2 guys having big seasons, 2 massive fantasy pieces. Padres might be dealing. We'll see where they end up if that's the case. Brandon Cootie of the Athletic reports that the Yankees are paying close attention, not only Dylan Carlson, but Randall Grichuk. Grichuk has really found his stroke of late with the Rockies. The Rockies have nothing going for them. If they can trade and get younger pieces, they're probably going to be very interested in doing that. So the Yankees looking to add some outfield help. Harrison Bader keeps getting hurt. They can't trust him to stay healthy. His performance has been a little down other than on the defensive side as well. And then finally, going back to the Angels, John Morosi is reporting that the Angels have discussed trading with the Nationals for Heimer Candelario. Candelario's had a really nice season. The expectation is pretty high that the Nationals will trade him. Where does he end up? We don't know. Wherever he ends up, there's probably a 50-50 chance he's more of a more of a corner infield option for his own team than a starter, meaning that, he'll play a little bit of first base, maybe a little DH, maybe a little third. It's not clear that he's going to be in the lineup every day when he gets traded. It is odd that the Angels, who keep adding corner infielders, are interested in Candelario. Moustakas has played a little bit better of late. I guess that the Jared Walsh days are gone. They're not counting on him to do anything for him this year. But the Nationals are sellers. Seems like the Angels are buyers. We didn't quite expect that. Good for the Angels. Let's hope that Ohtani and Trout can get to the playoffs this year and at least give it one go before Shohei Ohtani likely goes somewhere else. Okay, I'm Ray Flowers. Thanks for listening to this little video here. Don't forget to go to fantasyguru.com for all the baseball analysis you could possibly desire. At least that's our hope. The trade deadline piece next week on the actual trade deadline. The updated rankings will come out next week, the first of every month. It'll be the second of the month in August because of the trade deadline coming on the 1st. But August 2nd, and then, of course, September 1st. And then over my shoulder here, finding out how to get the 2023 fantasy football product for fantasyguru.com.